So for a very your elevator pitch, so you're at a conference, for example, and you're a host, you're chatting to a host, and you've got literally 30 seconds to explain what Guestflow is in the most simplistic style. How do you describe it?
It's a companion app that plugs into your channel manager to ultimately enable service providers to perform their tasks in the highest priority order, which means you can spend much less time as a business owner managing guests. You get to focus on the big picture, and you just know that everything is being done. Nothing's being missed, and there's no overlap of work.
So the channel managers I can see from the website that you link into, Toki, Bez24, Guesty, Smoobu. Is there any more in the pipeline, or are those the main ones for now?
There's a few we're looking at, to be honest with you. Right now, we've got a very tight integration with Toki, and it's working very well, those guys. The others, we're collecting data. To be honest with you, 80% of our reach so far have said that's the one that they're looking at. But we are open to working with lots of partners, because what we do is we solve a different problem. We're enabling service providers. Ultimately, it's a platform for service providers, and that might be a team of VAs that you want to build, or it might be your housekeepers. And of course, the two need to interact really nicely together, and they both essentially need the same set of data to perform their tasks. They just need it presented in different ways. That's what we're enabling, and it means that as much as possible can be automated. But when you do need to do something, like someone sent in an ID and you need to actually check it, and you need to know that on this particular property there's a minimum age of 25, for example, and there's the postcode of that property, and you don't want anyone who's a local resident without it being escalated to management. That's a manual task. You need a VA to do that. But of course, if that guest is checking in and they're not arriving for 3 days, and now you've got another last minute booking and the payment's just bounced, you want to make sure that the VA is focusing on the payment. That's the highest priority task right now. And if you've got multiple staff, you've got a couple of staff because you've got quite a few units, you need to know that one's working on that and the other is working on the next highest priority item, So ultimately it's about guest experience. You want 5-star service, and you want to be able to deliver that in the easiest way possible. And so that's the problem we're trying to solve.
So who would be the ideal host to test or trial Guestflow? What stage of the journey? How many staff? What would you say is the ideal, your ideal person to come to you and say, Graham, I want to give this a go?
Well, I know it's worked in our own business, over 100 units, and it worked incredibly well. Our business wouldn't work without it. It just wouldn't. And so, however, we've got clients with 5 units, and it's just enabled them to completely step away and focus on growth. I think ultimately what it helps solve is the commercial balance issue that a lot of businesses have, and you have it at multiple points throughout your growth. I think actually going from 3 to 4 units is as difficult as going from 20 units, to your next point of growth, leading up to 25, 30 units. It's how many staff do you need to enable you to get the volume of work done to the right standard without overwhelm and without overcapacity of staff. And that's not an easy problem to solve. And I think by having a tool that really enables a lot more efficiency with your staff and just clarity, you want to get everything into a rhythm. You want it in flow state. Flow state is everything's just flowing through. It's not chaotic. It's about being as proactive as possible. You don't want to be reactive in your business, right?
Yeah.
So that's ultimately, we want a tool that enables that to happen with all your service providers, and that's really the dream with Guestflow. Is we're going to be building in more and more cool features.
Having a blast, gonna get it on the Bruce Lee podcast. Bruce Lee like Bruce Lee, cause it's so hard and the T is loose leaf. Making up those rhymes, don't write it, just do it loosely.